All right, Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference was today. They had some new AI features, some non-AI features, and also quietly dropped an AI research paper a couple days ago. Let's cover all that today. First up for the AI news is their new Foundation Models framework. This is Apple's own model that's going to be allowed to connect to applications on Apple devices and use their model locally offline, which will also allow the apps to dodge the API calls that would be associated to cloud large language model function calls. And they give a few examples here. One being Kahoot, where if you could take a picture of your prompt and ask Kahoot to make a quiz, and it would generate that locally off app. So this will be interesting to see. This does force you to use, Apple's own Apple Intelligence model, which, from my understanding and my experience, is not that good. So if I'm an app developer, I really got to consider if I want to use this over something like Claude or API, something my apps already build on, to get the advantage of having it run locally and have all the privacy benefits that Apple has. I would guess no, but it'll be interesting to see how this shapes out the AI app landscape for iPhone. The next AI feature I want to talk about is live translation. This allows you to have translation in your phone calls, FaceTime, and iMessage done live through the Apple Intelligence. It also comes with dubbed subtitles and captions in these calls. This is actually pretty cool. Personally, I'm not FaceTiming someone I don't speak the same language of. That's pushing the boundary, but you can see in the example here, similar to like a caption on Instagram, you have the small button to say translate to whatever language you want to send it to in iMessage. And they also include a FaceTime demo here where it shows them live translating it in text and also in audio for a call. So this is a neat upgrade. We saw Google do something very similar to this at Google I/O a couple weeks ago, but I can see this having some value in my daily life. We'll see how smooth this is to use as it's rolled out. Another AI update is the update to Genmoji and the AI image playground. You can see a demo here where they're mixing emojis together to make one. Also some ways to make an AI emoji of you, change the style, stuff like that. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this. I don't really trust people that have AI profile pictures myself. They acknowledge that all the AI features to Writing Assistant that were released last conference and slightly improved upon, allegedly this conference, are not going to be included in Siri. So they acknowledge that, so it's coming later, probably next conference, which was a huge bummer for people like me. Honestly, since OpenAI rolled out ChatGPT, I don't really use Siri for much. Like, OpenAI can just do that for me. But of course, the accessibility of Siri, having that be a double click on my iPhone, still a very popular cell phone in the US for a lot of us, that would be a huge upgrade. But the fact that it's not out is tough, and I was really hoping for that. But overall, for AI features, I give them like a D on this one. Not a ton. If you compare this to OpenAI's recent announcements, Google's I/O, Claude 4 recently dropped all within the last month. Apple is clearly at the bottom of the AI releases, but we'll talk more about it later in their research paper. Let's overview some of the non-AI features because there was some cool stuff. So there's a full system redesign coming to all devices, iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and that's this liquid glass style. You'll see this very dynamic, translucent appearance to all applications and interfaces. This will definitely be noticeable for all Apple users. You can see, if I pause here, the translucent background for these app bars. All the apps look a little different, a little more shimmery and translucent. It does look cool, but I don't know, not really a huge feature. It's funny because this will definitely get a lot of buzz once this app update rolls out in the fall. But whereas, the buzz that was announced for Claude 4 or at the Google I/O conference, again, a couple months ago, that's not getting talked about at the dinner table. You can see some extreme examples here where legit all the apps are just glass. Looks kind of cool. I might try it out, but I'm more of a function over form guy when it comes to my devices, keeping it simple. But nonetheless cool and definitely noticeable. Next up is a weird one I'm definitely turning off, and that is backgrounds. on iMessage. Kind of gives it this MySpace vibes. You can set the background between one person or in a group chat. Again, a lot of kids, and I'm sure my grandparents will be using this and loving it. But from a functionality perspective, this will just be annoying and eye bleed. And yeah, this like the AI background, like double strike there using AI for an image and removing my dark mode. That's going to be tough. And then they also announced polls in group chats. There was already a thing for this with an extension, but I guess now it can suggest you to make a poll. So I guess that's neat. Again, not super impressive, but it's neat. And there is some other decluttering of iMessage features here. You can see some unknown numbers and text reminders will now become this. So I guess that's good. But yeah, I mean, there's a filter in iMessage now. Cool. You know, I'm not going, this isn't going to revolutionize tech, but you know, us iPhone users will take it. And I saw iPad Twitter going crazy for this one. iPad has a new windowing system, as you can see in this demo. I don't own an iPad, but for some people, it's their daily rider. This looks pretty cool. Honestly, I like it. It's just like a laptop, probably overdue for navigation and organization. I mean, I have a million windows open at once, and if I had an iPad, that would annoy me. So I don't know how. I mean, I guess I know how they did that. Why it was overdue for so long, I don't know. But cool feature nonetheless. So iPad users, y'all are eating. And also one thing I forgot and should have talked about earlier is the phone app is coming to Mac. Thank God. So now I can call people and see my recent calls on my MacBook Pro. That's awesome. Like that will be at least a slight improvement to my daily life. So we'll take that. And they're also calling the new OS Tahoe, which is cool. Never been there. Yeah, and at least for me, that was really it for the notable features from the conference. A couple other stuffs. Watch a summary video, scroll through it. I don't know. Either way, like you can sign up for developer beta today, or it's coming in fall of this year. But I want to talk about this paper Apple also dropped a day or two ago, The Illusion of Thinking, Understanding the Strengths and Limitations of Reasoning Models via the Lens of Problem Complexity. 28-page paper, comb through it. It's pretty interesting, but it's essentially a dig on some of the thinking models. If you look at the abstract here, some of the conclusions were low complexity models, where standard models outperformed the large reasoning models. They tested a bunch: DeepSeek, OpenAI, Claude, Google. So that was interesting. Medium complexity tasks where the LLMs showed their advantage, and then kind of some higher complexity tasks, they gave it a variety of puzzles where both models just collapsed and couldn't solve them after like 100 iterations. So pretty interesting. Kind of a bearish take of Apple on the future of AI. They don't think it can actually keep scaling its reasoning capabilities that the other companies are hype on. Interesting take. I kind of disagree. I think some of the challenges they had, it solved were like physical challenges that weren't really fair for the large reasoning models to contest against. And, you know, also the timing of this paper, very coincidental with the lack of AI features in this conference. As a developer, that was my main takeaway. And overall, my thoughts on this conference, I'll still give it a D. Wasn't super impressed. Even the non-AI features are just like combining emojis and, you know, an app that was once in one device is now on other devices. So Apple, have to step up your game. I really wanted that Siri update with AI integration. You didn't give me that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Were you happy about this WWDC? Were you not, like me? Do you have doubts about Apple's capability to keep being a major tech company in today's evolving AI market? So let me know down below. Like this video if you learned something. Subscribe for more AI and tech updates. I'll see you guys in the next one.